STS, deprogrammed for a reason, because I had to get rid of that old programming that nearly took my life away. It's real life shit. That's why I'm here today. And yeah, we're back with Lady Crown, and we don't stay down, we stay up, and we don't chat pop. But it's not real talk. It's another midweek catch-up, and trust me, we've got a lot of energy right now. And
yes,
I've got a lot of energy. I ain't joking. I'm real life, because I tap in every single second, like I like to say. And big shout outs to my auntie Jackie Divine. Just tell you a little story about this lady here, yeah? Remember when she came round to the yard one time, and my grandma just done an ice cold bath. She was like, "What? Mom?" Obviously that's a mom. She said, "What, Mom jumped to the ice cold bath?" Like, yeah, we've done the research on it. Let me tell you, this lady just went boom straight into the ice cold bath. And it showed me everything about her energy, and it's all into action because it gives her satisfaction. Shouts to Auntie Jackie Divine. What you talking about? Because a lot of people ain't talking about the real.
no.
They're talking about the fake. Trust me.
Listen, she was
Shout
chewing
to
off
Auntie.
my ears last night. Well, listen to the podcast. This is Nuktar Ray Tech. Why
Shout to Nukta.
don't you get me one of them? Why don't you get me my daddy?
Straight away, straight tapping in. This is why I love her competitive
Yeah.
nature. We were speaking about it earlier.
Yeah.
When you got a competitive nature that works for you, oh my God, you're gonna be really uplifting yourself and others
Yeah.
instead of, you know what I mean, just sitting back, feeling down that people are doing what they're supposed to be doing in their lives. Yo, fam, we've all got a sole purpose. It's your choice whether you tap in or not. Because trust
Absolutely.
me, the universe is always reading your frequency set. This is why people can't hide no more. Because trust me, we're in the age of Aquarius. You get me? So it's judgment right now. God is out here right now, fam, saying, yo, fam, the chosen ones, yo, live your best life, fam. What are you talking about? Trust me, don't put your light down. Bring it up. Because a lot of people are dimming their light, like we said on the real talk, because they're scared of the darkness, not realizing that the power's there, innit? You get me?
Everything comes out of darkness.
Because
Trust
just
me.
like Will's, all right. Because when you came out your mother's womb, you was in darkness and you was settled, growing. Your little brain, your little feet, you know what I mean? Your eyes, everything. You know what I mean? You was coming out of the darkness.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Into the light. You plant your little seed. You put it in what? Soil.
Yeah.
Darkness.
Darkness. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
Don't
know,
be afraid of what best serves you. Trust me, because them man flip everything.
flip everything, because even when we were speaking about Auntie Jackie Divine, yeah, with the ice cold, you know how many people are scared of the cold? I was scared, I was petrified. Then when my mom, I gotta say, when my mother, who was like no other, and my grandma jumped in the shower, I looked at myself and thought, save. You taking the piss? You better get yourself in there, fam.
Just
you
get yourself in that cold shower and just deal with it. And you know the benefits that you get after it, because it literally opens up your lymphatic system. And I'm telling you, you're no longer a victim. No, when driving for success, you know what became obsessed? And we're no longer stressed. We're stressless.
Oh my
Talking
God.
about.
When I made that bar, it's when I finally started jumping in that cold shower and dealing with it, fam. Because I realised it's all subconscious. So when your subconscious is telling you no, guess what? You can say yes with your action. And guess what happens after? A lot of good thought patterns. Because you overcome yourself.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I remember Dr. Joe Dispenza saying the practice of overcoming creates a new self. I just leave it on that, man. Because a lot of people, they're dimming their light only because they're not taking action. Action is everything in this physical
It's
reality.
key.
David Goggins, trust me, tap into his story.
Yeah.
Because he really made me realise that all this yapping business don't mean jack when it comes to
nowhere.
real life. Trust me, because your action will speak louder than your words. All this yapping business. Come on, man. Let's get down into the nitty gritty where it gets real sticky. You get me? But yeah, let me calm down now, because this is how I tap in, you know, because one thing I realised with life is, yeah, most people won't show you every single face. See, me and Lady Crown, we do, because we dealt with ourselves. And don't get it twisted, we have empathy for others that haven't, because we know people have got traumas on the past. People have gone through a lot of different struggles. You know what I mean? So we get it, you get me? This is why we don't look down on anybody. We know better than anybody.
No.
It's a oneness, we're all one. You know what I mean? But we have come here to raise the energy. So we make sure we keep it authentic, you get me? You know? Shout out to everybody that's going through real suffering and pain out there You know what I mean? You know, we always have self-reflection because we realize that we're in a privileged position. And even if you're tapped into this video, you are as well. There's many people that can't watch this video. You get me? They haven't got this technology. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So just realize that you got so many blessings. Count your blessings instead of your complaints. You know? And I can guarantee you, a lot of things will start working out for you because the universe works on energy, vibration, and frequency. So whatever you're attracting, you're going to be a vibrational match to. Remember that. So keep on raising your energy and living your best life, man.
Yep.
Blessings.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to bring Lady Crown through now because I got it off my chest right now. Yeah. You see, the thought patterns yesterday I discussed, and Lady Crown knows much more about these two individuals. Cliff High and Reggie Middleton. Can you give the people them more information about these two men?
Oh, Cliff High and Reggie, men that I've been tapped into for, I don't know, probably about 6-7 years now. You know, I would say back in the early days. And what Cliff used to do was used to produce they were called altar reports. And I don't know if you can. I think if you go on to Beyond Mystic, Jean-Claude, I'm sure on his site you can actually download these altar reports, and they're very, very interesting, to the point where what he developed was some kind of technology that could glean the internet and literally pick up on what people were saying, what people's thoughts were, and then literally start making predictions as to what was going to happen. And like with the 2020, that was in one of his altar reports. He said it was going to be something akin to the sun disease. And what is the corona? Crown. The sun. Do you get what I'm saying? And so you should check him out. He's on YouTube. He's back on YouTube now. He got licked off because a lot of these people, let's face it, when you've got governments paying or strong arming social media platforms to ban, to delete, to censor men and women out there speaking their truth, and not necessarily just their truth, but those that were speaking facts, like the virologists, the doctors, the lawyers, you know, those people out there you say were, you know, scientists that were, you know, would have some validity in terms of what they were saying. These men were taken off the internet, but we all know why. So Cliff, look at his altar reports, check him out on YouTube, because he's back now and he's really dropping some gems. A lot of the things might go over your head, but you know what you do? Just listen to it over and over again. I'll go back and watch some of the old ones, because I think you'll still be able to find some of them. But he's talking about present day and what's coming, so I think it's important for you to tap into those, because this is... I can't find words to describe Chris Hyde, to be honest with you, because he's different. This man... When we listened to that interview that he had on
Odyssey,
oh, I've been trying to find it again.
That was fire.
It was fire. I've been listening to it for years, and I never heard it. But he's never been. I saw him interviewing people, but not being interviewed. So when he was interviewed, I was like, "Is this the same man that I've been literally, you know, what following on YouTube for time?" The things that he came out with. I'll see if I can find that again, actually, because it's amazing. Reggie Middleton, Reggie, unbelievable. He's got the patents now for his software development, and his token is called Veritasium. The SEC and Securities Exchange Commission went for him big time. He had articles and memorandum with Jamaica and another European country. It was a big European country. People, he wasn't saying who it was at the time because they were just going through the negotiation period, but it was speculation that it was Germany, and it was literally going to wipe out all of their systems, peer-to-peer marketing, peer-to-peer transactions, and that's what he patented. He got the patent in Japan. Like I said, the SEC went after him. 9.5 million. They fined him and said that he was committing fraud, and you know, the biggest fraud agency in the world, one of them anyway, the SEC, went for him, and he took a beating and a battering. The token price literally crashed. I just held on to mine because I thought to myself, this might come back. And from Cliff High's report, let me just tell you this, in one of his reports, because he used to do a section which concentrated on crypto, because Reggie Middleton's token is a cryptocurrency, but not like Bitcoin, yeah? And he said that Veritasium was going to go through some turbulence, And that was the turbulence, the SEC coming from. Remember, this wasn't no prediction. This man wrote this in his report 2 years before it actually happened. And he said that eventually, when the whole system starts crashing and does crash, which is what we're experiencing now, for those of you that are tapped in, that the government of America would go to Reggie to help them bring everything back online with his Veritasium and his software technology. And he said that Veritasium would go 1-to-1 with Bitcoin, if not overtake Bitcoin in terms of its value. That's what he said in his report. Will it happen? Well, we're here in this day and this time. We'll see. And if you hear the name Reggie Middleton and Veritasium 2, 3, 4 years from now, and in terms of what it now is doing, then you remember this conversation that we're having now with you and telling you about this man. You can check Reggie out. It's on YouTube. And you can go back and watch some of his old videos where he was in Ghana and different parts of Africa, because it literally takes away the need for the stock exchange. That means no fraud. Let's face it, these men live on it, and it would be peer-to-peer, everything validated. Obviously, they can't have you challenge their system, because when you challenge the status quo, you know what happens, because you've only got to look at Gaddafi. Oh, go back, Dino. What are you talking about? Next minute, the country's been invaded, and Libya's a freaking shithole now, thanks to those lovely people in the West who want to bring democracy all over the place. But them are them two brothers, yeah? Are you?
You know, you've been tapped in for a long time. It's had a memory now. About 7-8 years ago, you were showing me Cliff Eye and Reggie Middleton. I was like, yo, man, like, from the Arsenal game, like this is what I'm saying. The program, the program is so strong. This is why I have self-reflection when I present myself today, because I know that it's a hard road for you to actually deprogram yourself. Trust me, it's not a joke out here, because it's hardwired into people's brain. You get me? So unless they have an awakening, it's going to be very hard for them to change. So I get it. Lady Crown, she's been on this journey for a long time, you know? And she's really reaping the benefits now. She was doing that groundwork, you know, not being able to really express herself. You get me?
To myself.
Yeah.
Talking about.
You know what
a diode on your phone. What are you talking about?
But now, like I said earlier, we're in the age of Aquarius. Yeah. Yo, fam, the light is spreading, fam. This divine light's all over the shop. You know, people that were asleep yesterday are awake today right now and say, yo, boom, let's do it, because it's time. It's time now, you know? Yeah. The time is now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a beautiful time to be here. And really and truly, it is for us to learn from the mistakes of the past. You get what I'm saying? Because they're so evident, and the mistakes is being so subservient and so trusting and so going along to get along and so indoctrinated, you know what I mean? Because every goddamn thing that they've ever put in front of your face is a lie. Everything. You don't even, your name is not yours. Your surname belongs to the Vatican, and your first name belongs to the crown copywriters. You don't even own your own name. You don't own your own body. You don't own your own organs. That's why they can say, well, you know what? If you're driving and you've got a driving license and you don't opt out of organ donation and you're in an accident, we'll just take them. Do you get what I'm saying? That's telling you that it's not your body. They own your ass. They own us. They own everything. Your home. Oh, I paid off my mortgage. You own it now. No, you don't. Look at your deeds. It says you're a tenant. What you've got is a 99-year lease. And they know that you're going to pop your clogs before then, and it get passed on to some relative, and then have a 99-year lease on it. It's not yours. The promissory note, the piece of paper that we've got plastic now, yeah? Most of us got plastic. That Jamaica's now got that same old shit, that plastic thing. So, you know, don't get mashed up in a washing machine or whatever. It's still a promissory note, a promise to pay in the future. Everything that you've ever purchased, you don't own. You've never paid for it, unless you've taken up an ounce of silver or an ounce of gold or something like that, or done something in terms of a barter. And then you can claim ownership. You get what I'm saying? There's a value there, but at the end of the day, nobody owns anything. So when Klaus Schwab says you will have nothing and be happy, guess what? You already have nothing and you have been happy. In your house, in a nice car, couple of holidays a year. You get what I'm saying? You've got an illusion of happiness. But what he said is actually what it is. You ain't got shit now. You get what I'm saying?
That's why people like David Will Miller, Mark Christopher awaken a lot of people to the contracts of life, realizing that you've been tied down, you've been schooled, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize they don't even own the house, and they think they own the house because they paid off a mortgage, which is a death pledge. You know what I mean? So basically, you're still a tenant. You know what I mean? You don't. Is it the law of your title? You don't actually own the land.
Yeah. Without law of your title, you own nothing. And how many people do you know has got law of your title
Not many.
for their house, for their land?
Yeah, not many.
The rich do. Trust me, because they're not stupid. They know. You get what I'm saying? But you don't. You've worked your arse off. Your sweat equity. You wiped your brow and you've toiled and you've done everything that the system put in place for you, and they still shafted you. Still shafted you. And now they're coming for what you got. Because if you've got equity in your property, they're going to come for it. Because right about now, everything's going to hell in a handbasket. So everything's going to be zeroed. What do you mean? Zeroed. Well, if you've got equity in your property and you don't take it out, then they'll come and take that equity. That's what they're planning to do. That's what they're going to do. I spoke sometime about the force majeure, the act of God, thunderbolt of lightning, lick your yard, or your insurance don't cover that because that's called an act of God. Well, that's what they're going to, what's what we're going to have, where all contracts come to an end, and then it's whatever they then fling at you. And you're going to have no choice but to take it. Those of you who haven't prepared to say, you know what, stuff you, I don't want any part of that system. I'm going to go here and live with my little community and do our own thing. We're not part of you. Most people won't be able to do that. They'll be looking up at the government and saying, please help me. Yeah, I'll do anything that you say. We'll take a couple of these shots and you can have this then. Because that's what they're going to do. They're all corrupt. They're demonic forces. They're satanic. They're evil, and they've never ever cared one iota about the people that they profess to serve. Because they don't serve you because they're a corporation. A corporation cannot serve and look after the people, the men and women. Because living men and women cannot contract, because it's all contracts with a corporation, and that United Kingdom is a corporation. Say, I live in the UK. Okay, you're a citizen, are you? So you're part of that corporation. That's your legal fiction, interacting with a corporation, because the living man and woman cannot interact with a corporation, because they're odd contracts. You get what I'm saying?
They treat you how they see you, as a dead entity.
There you go.
It's simple as that. Yeah. This is why the live life claims are really good, because you actually claim about your life. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people they've been programmed. They've been programmed. They've been what do you call it? Is it I forgot what you call it. When you're dead on paper.
Dead on paper.
Yeah, you're dead on paper. Yeah. That's what it is. So basically, you need to claim your life back, man.
You've got to claim it back.
You're contracted to a corporation. And most people don't know this because it's just the normal thing to do. You know
everybody,
what I mean? Your birth certificate, things like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go, your birth certificate. And what they say on the birth certificate cannot be used as proof of ID. What does it tell you?
What it's supposed to be used for. You get me?
Exactly. So you can't use it as proof of ID because it's crown copyright. That's why you can't use it. Because it don't belong to you. How can you use something that doesn't belong to you? So that name on there doesn't belong to you.
This is content, this is mad, I don't know how, shout out to Dr. Sebi, I don't know how he done this. He was travelling with no passport. Mm-hmm. Just free, sovereign.
There you go.
You know what I mean? People think they need a passport to travel.
Maybe Sebi was born in Honduras.
Yeah, he was born in Honduras.
And his birth wouldn't have been registered.
No.
So you don't belong to the state. Mm-hmm. So you can go about your business and do what you got to do. You don't belong to the state. And, even to this day, people are still registering their baby. Saying, I'm the informant, I've got another one for you. There you go, government.
Remember David Miller with the cargo, when he saw this cargo?
That was
was it David Miller?
Yeah, it was him. He took
somebody as cargo, innit? Yeah. So he didn't need a passport, innit?
A passport, yeah, took him on the flight and they came back.
Yeah, I remember that still.
That was the so-called chief federal court judge in America now. Trying to think of his name. It will come back to me. But yeah, he did do that.
Yeah.
Because that's the system that's been set up. We know we're on the land, but you're governed by maritime. So if that's the case, then your body is a vessel. And what do vessels do? They navigate the sea, don't they? You know what I'm saying? Because you're not on land, you're going to a court, it's a vessel in dry dock. Your house is a vessel in dry dock. You get what I'm saying? And that's how they've managed to perpetrate the most heinous fraud upon humanity. And I will use that word because you know what I'm talking about. The most heinous fraud has been perpetrated upon us. Do you get what I'm saying? Where we actually think that your government is here to serve and protect, and they're not. They're a corporation and they do the bidding of their masters. And who are they? The central banks. So they print that faux money that we have in our pockets and purses and get, oh, you have just bought this for so and so. You ain't bought shit. You've promised to pay for it. They've given it to you. You've got it. Oh, you know, I've got this, you know, I've got this recorder here. And I've got this beautiful pyramid here. But guess what? It was paid for with promissory notes.
Can I just say this, yeah? I like to always bring balance to people's mind frame, is that there's great people in high places, but a lot of them haven't got ownership of the media, so they're not able to show their faces. So trust me, there's a lot of good things happening behind the scenes.
Oh yeah.
Because this is what people need to realise. What's happening behind the scenes won't be at the forefront because it's not supposed to be.
No,
because this is the admire, this is the illusion world. The ones that are living in real reality, like me and Lady Crown, know what's really going on. This is why we've got a vision for our future. When you haven't got a vision for your future, you think things are attacking you. Not realising, because you're attaching yourself to their world, or the illusion.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
That's the 3D world.
3D world. When you get into the 5D, remember this. You're going to be alone a lot because we're surrounded by a lot of 3D entities. You see? The chosen ones are realising, oh my God, my light's really powerful and I need to connect with more chosen. That's all it is. You have to find your reflections.
Yeah.
You know?
Just lose the fear.
Lose your fear.
You know, when you lose the fear, then trust me.
So many things work out.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, lose your fear. I mean, people, you know, millions and millions of people all over the world were fearful of the, let's call it the common cold, because that's basically what it was, to the point where, because of that fear, they went and did things and had things, certain things done to their bodies, because of fear. And we all know, and we should know by now, that fear is an acronym for
false evidence appearing real.
Okay, you get what I'm saying? That's how much the hypnosis, the mind control, because it wasn't just ordinary, you know, Joe Blogs that ran down there to go and get this so-called educated people. Because what surprised me the most is that the majority of them were, you know, academics and stuff like that. And what I began to realise is that those that kind of like didn't get on in school, didn't really feel it. You know what I mean? I've got more common sense. And those that really were able to absorb the programming were more controllable. Because if I'm going to fill your head of bullshit and give you stars and bells and whistles for, you know, taking your exams, and then you're more susceptible. You got to be, haven't you? Because you've fallen for everything that you've ever learned. Oh yes, I've got a bachelor's degree in and your degree's a load of shite.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
We discussed this before. Awareness is different from intellect, because what they do, especially in school and college, is judge people off their memory, not their awareness. Yeah. So basically, I'm smart because I know I can remember more than you.
Yeah.
No, that don't make you smart. Yeah. That just means that you got a bit more memory duck. You know what I mean? You're good at copying.
You're easily programmable. You can fill your brain with anything, and you just absorb it all, and you can regurgitate it. And those people whose brains say, you know what, that don't sit right, it don't make sense. They'll call you dyslexic, they'll call you all of that. Because your brain's rejecting the bullshit.
You've got a heightened awareness, so you think for yourself. You don't think what other people have programmed for you to think. So you're thinking, you're having critical thoughts.
Yes.
That's what it is.
And that's, you see, they've not been able to get all of us. Because ideally, that's why we all have to go for that schooling system to get all of us. But even still, with that memory bank, that DNA, you know what I'm saying? That subconscious mind is saying, hang on a second, well, go on, so it's questioning, you know what I mean? So it's like, well, they're not all falling for the bullshit. We've programmed them all. They've all had the same food. They've all had the same water, and everything that we've done to them, jab them up from they were flipping 6 months old. But then we got some that are just not going to fall in line because it's in your DNA. Your DNA is strong.
You know, one thing that underestimated was people's spirit,
Mm.
their infinite mind. Because trust me, we create reality regardless of what happens out there.
Yeah.
That's the awakening. Trust me,
Yeah.
because people need to realize that we got tremendous power, and when we activate the so-called junk DNA, which isn't really junk, it's just disconnected DNA.
They
That's
call
all
it
is.
junk, so you disassociate yourself with it. And
Yeah.
you go, oh, it's just junk DNA, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's not. It's just like STS said, it's been deactivated, and what can you do?
Reactivate.
Raise up your vibration.
Raise the
talking
energy.
about?
What you
You know what I'm
talking
saying?
about?
And look these demons in the face and tell them, say, if you are dopey, me a conqueror. You better know. Now you me done. Come here.
Yeah, trust me, this has been a bit of a different one.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's a flip, no rehearsal, no script, no acting going on. And yeah, keep working on your mind, body and soul in order to achieve your goals. Because we're there with you.
Spiritually.
You don't know, bro and sis, stay blessed. STS and Lady Crown, over and out. Peace and blessings.
Peace, my people. Have a beautiful, beautiful, strong day.
Week as well.